Today we're going to dive into a story that really flips the script on what most of us think success is all about. It's about finding real, genuine freedom, and in a place you would probably never, ever guess. I mean, seriously, what does freedom actually look like for you? Is it a number in your bank account, a fancy job title, or could it be something totally different? Something simpler, maybe? Like the freedom to just choose where you want to live? Well, for one 29-year-old American, the answer wasn't in America at all. Nope. It was halfway across the globe in Bahrain. Yeah, Bahrain. And her story? It's incredible. It might just give you a completely new way of looking at what's possible in your own life. All right, so how on earth does someone from Atlanta, Georgia, end up building their dream life in the Middle East? Well, for Mikayla, this wasn't some snap decision. This was a long time coming. The seeds for this were planted way back when she was just a kid. So let's meet Mikayla McGhee. She describes herself as a military brat. And, well, that's pretty spot on. Both of her parents were in the U.S. Navy, so her childhood was all about moving around. A huge chunk of her formative years were actually spent abroad in Japan, and that experience, it changed everything for her. It really planted a seed that would define the rest of her life. And here's what's so interesting. Her driving force, her North Star, it wasn't about climbing a corporate ladder or making a certain amount of money. It was this one powerful concept: freedom. The freedom to live wherever she wanted, travel whenever she wanted, and just not be chained to one spot. That was the goal way before Bahrain was even on her radar. And I bet a lot of you can relate to this feeling, right? You have this clear picture of what you want, but the actual path to get there, it's just a total fog. She had the what and the why, but the how was a massive question mark. And then 2020 happened. An opportunity came up to visit her parents, and suddenly that foggy path started to clear. This trip took her to a country that would completely shatter her expectations and, really, change the entire course of her life. So, her dad was stationed at the U.S. military base in Bahrain. And when she decided to go visit, she'll be the first to tell you, she had all these preconceived ideas about the place. Stuff she'd picked up from the news and media. But what was supposed to be a short visit turned into a 3-month stay. And by the time it was over, she was absolutely in love with the country. And this is where things get really interesting. That huge gap between what she thought it would be and what it actually was. She expected to feel unwelcome, to stick out like a sore thumb. But instead, she found this incredibly calm, peaceful place where she just fit in. The real culture shock wasn't negative at all. It was the shock of realizing, wow, things here are actually better. I mean, this quote says it all, doesn't it? It's such a powerful reminder to go see things for yourself, to trust your own eyes and not just the stories we're fed. The second her plane touched down back in Atlanta, she knew she had to go back. But this time, it was going to be for good. Okay, so falling in love with a place, that's the easy part. But actually figuring out how to pack up your life and move there, well, that's a whole different ballgame. So how did she actually pull it off? She knew there was one crucial piece to this puzzle. The master key, really. A fully remote job. But not just any work-from-home gig. She needed a company that would be totally on board with her living abroad, one that would give her the green light to work across completely different time zones. Now, this wasn't a quit your job and hope for the best situation. Not at all. This was a calculated 2-year plan. She flew back to Atlanta with a singular mission. For the next 2 years, she was networking, applying, interviewing, until she landed that perfect role. And by December of 2022, she was on a plane back to Bahrain, this time with a one-way ticket. All right, so she made it. But what does this dream life actually look and feel like? Let's get into the nitty-gritty. The money, the schedule, the whole 9 yards. First up, let's talk numbers. Mikayla's a senior performance marketing manager for an IT company based in the U.S., and she's earning a solid $140,000 a year. And since she's getting paid in U.S. dollars, yeah, she still has to pay U.S. taxes, but that income is the financial engine that makes this whole new life possible. Okay, now this part is pretty wild. To sync up with U.S. East Coast time, her workday is completely flipped. She clocks in around 5 p.m. Bahrain time and works until after midnight. Now, I know what you're thinking. That sounds kind of nuts. But just think about what that gives her. It means her entire day, every single day, is hers. She can hit the gym, get groceries, work on her own projects. She basically gets to live a full life before her workday even starts.
So, what's the price tag on a life like this? Well, check this out. She lives in a 3-bedroom house with its own private pool for around $2,200 a month. You can see some of her other expenses here too. It's awesome how open she is about the costs, and it makes this incredible lifestyle feel, surprisingly down to earth and maybe even achievable. But really, at the end of the day, this is what it's all about. It's not just about the numbers on a spreadsheet. The change in her actual happiness, her well-being, has been massive. She says her happiness has just skyrocketed. And that's really the ultimate proof that she found a place where she could truly, genuinely thrive. So, what's the big takeaway from Mikayla's journey? Because her story is so much more than just a cool travel adventure. It's really a blueprint, a set of instructions for anyone out there who's thinking about redesigning their own life. And it really comes down to 3 things. First step, you have got to challenge your own assumptions, just like she did. Question everything you see on the news, everything you hear from other people. Step 2, you have to figure out what freedom means to you, not to your parents, not to your friends, to you. Get super specific about it. And step 3, and this is the game changer, make your career work for your life, not the other way around. Use your skills to build the life you actually want to live. And for me, this is maybe the most powerful part of the whole story. This wasn't about running away from America. It was about running towards a life that she designed brick by brick for herself. It was a conscious choice, a deliberate act of building something you. So I'll just leave you with this question. If you could just press a button and ignore all the limits, all the shoulds and supposed tos, what would your life actually look like? Where in the world would you be? And more importantly, what's just one tiny step you could take, like right now, to start moving that way? Thanks so much for watching. If you got something out of this story, do us a favor and hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more real-life success